Hello, everyone, and welcome to Story Talk. My name is Linda Johnson, and today I'm going to continue the conversation from our last video as we have been talking about the various elements of storytelling. And in my book, let me show you how to write a book, um, Story Talk by Linda Johnson. On page 47, I get into the various um, components and elements of talking about the various ideas. We talked about ideas. We talked about, we're going to talk tomorrow about sentences and phrases, and we're going to talk about paragraphs. But basically, in a nutshell, I wanted to talk about lists today to pick up the conversation. I want to give you guys the exact page in my book to go to, and this is in chapter 6. So yeah, in chapter 6, and we were talking about brainstorming, and I talked to you about mind dumping. I talked to you about utilizing your ideas and also utilizing words. If you don't know where to get started, remember, just start with one word at a time. But when it pertains to lists, let me just say that list allows you to showcase a series of related items, ideas, or actions in a concise or impactful manner in storytelling. Whether if it's, let's say you're describing the something, let's say you a character, his mother sends him to the grocery store, and his mother tells him to get a list of items on a list. And maybe in your story, you can use this literary device that we call list and say what the contents are in that bag. Or if you're talking about a female character, and let's say there's a scene, you're writing this scene in the bathroom, and she's putting on her makeup, and maybe you might want to just kind of talk about the things she pulled out of her bag and utilize that as a way of making a list. I'll give you another real good example. We're doing creative writing here. And let's say, as a creative writer, I'm telling you the different kinds of storytelling that you can do, the different components and elements of storytelling. I can tell you, like, hey, creative writing is poetry. Many people, they are writers, they are poetic writers. Creative writing is also, you can write letters, you can write prayers, playwrights. That's all creative. Fiction stories, nonfiction stories. There are so many different ones, speeches and essays that we can talk about. But I'm using the list to describe what creative writing, those various kinds of things that you can write creatively, or what is considered creative writing, right? And storytelling, if you know how to utilize the literary device list in such a way that really drives your point home. And let's say the is given a sermon, and he wants to leave his church congregation and the story with 3 or 4 points based on what his message is about. Maybe he'll say, today, with these 3 points, remember faith. And then I want you to remember God. And then I want you to remember never give up. Those are 3 points that the actual sermonist or the speaker is giving in the story to leave those points. But anyway, there are so many different ways that you can structure a list. It can be a numerical list. It can be an alphabetical list. There are various kinds of lists, but I want to keep this video short, simple, and to the point. And I hope that you all will follow me on Story Talk as we continue this conversation, because this is all a part of also brainstorming. These are different components of brainstorming that we are going to continue about. Any questions, you can email me at marshaelyn@aol.com. That's MARSHAELIN at AOL.com. Or you can just follow me on my website at www.positivethinkingwillmakeyouhappy.com. And listen, I am here. I'm a creative writer by trade, and I have many books that are out. So if you go to look up this book, Let Me Show You How to Write a Book by Linda Johnson, you could just click on my name. It'll direct you to my author's page. And hey, guys, I have some great news. today you can follow me on my Kendra Vella story. It's called The Isolated Life of Leonard James. Yes. So episode 5 just published today. Episode 6, I believe, is going to publish around November the 20th. So I have something else great that I'm going to be introducing to you guys. Part 2 of another story that I want to say is probably the most anticipated. I want to say part 2 of a story that people have been asking me about. So I really, really am excited about it. And I will be publishing that information on my Facebook page for those who follow me on Facebook. So just remember that list or and creative writing is a way of adding a touch of creativity to your story. And if you know how to organize your list in such a way that can draw your reader in, sometimes they can be used in utilizing action or describing action in your story as well. So list also creates a certain kind of rhythm that flows and builds the anticipation when used strategically. And I actually wrote that so you all won't forget that. Anyway, just remember that lists have the power to paint a vivid picture in the minds of a reader when you are using them strategically in your story. Anyway, I love you guys. I'll see you in the next video. And don't forget, we're going to pick this up and talk about brainstorming. We're going to talk about phrases. We're going to talk about sentences and paragraphs in the next one. I'll see you next time. And thank you. And don't forget to like, comment, share, and most of all, don't forget to subscribe. I'm Linda Johnson. I'll see you tomorrow, 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.